Okay, so this is our first surface transition trail and prep for some good urban work. And one of the things I want you to start working off on right off the bat is going to be allowing him to go to the scent article and starting immediately without any stoppage. When we put the equipment on or when we prepare the equipment, once they've already found the article or the track, it can really be demotivating, especially when there's lots of contaminations and lots of stuff going on. You can see how he marked it. You know, he wagged his tail, he's ready to go. But when we stop and we have to do all this equipment now, it can really, really demotivate the dog. Now, when there's only one track, it's not a big deal. But when there's multiple tracks in a real urban area, this is where it can get confusing, and this stoppage can lead to them taking the track that you don't want. So what I want you to do in the future, have that harness on, have it ready to go, short lead him up to the article. As soon as he hits it, let him go with the search command and let him track. He'll do really a lot better in that situation. The stoppage before the track can be really confusing. Now, I love how he takes odor and immediately gets on the track. This is going to be a wonderful dog. He's so easy to read, good classic body language. There's really nothing confusing about it at all. Now, notice when you get to the first little surface change right here, how he kind of moves to the left, loses the track just slightly, but he's on your fringe of odor and working it really, really nicely. This is where he transitions from that ground disturbance to a little bit of blown human odor. And this is important because when we get into an urban environment, they're going to have to work a myriad of type of odors and not just that ground disturbance. And that's why we're doing this particular issue right now. A minor surface transition coming up here, and it's just really where your trail area gets to the edge of that nice grassy surface. And so Trakka comes back just to verify that he's on that track. And notice how, you know, he really is concerned about losing that ground disturbance odor. And you see a lot of it right here. So really nice transition going from the one grassy surface across the gravel to the other side. But it was really detecting the odor on the other side and going to it. And I don't care how they do it at this point. He just needs to learn how to find odor on his own without any help. And that's what we're doing. In the future, when he comes up to a barrier like this, what I want you to do is just stay back a little bit and don't get right on top of him. Because one of the things that was happening is he was trying to ID the exact place where that odor was going through. And by you moving up close, it got him a little bit impatient and he started pushing out a little bit. So step back, stay back, let him pinpoint that location, and when he does, give him a good little marker like, oh, good boy, so you know he's knowing that this is something that he's supposed to do. In training, that's perfectly cool. Again, this is a place where we want to give him some space. He's trying to identify the place to go through or to go over, and the closer we get to them, the more pressure they feel. And you may not get the body language or the indicators that you're looking for because of the pressure the dog's feeling. So stay back, let them decide for you, and then once they've done that, you can help them through. So this is really great lead handling right here. When he goes across the road and circles back, you do a great job of keeping your place and maintaining that lead and not getting it tangled up, allowing him to work freely and then acquire odor once again. Really important, and you did perfectly on this. Okay, so here's some behavior I really want you to start paying attention to because this could save your life. As your dog starts to cross into the middle of the road, that head starts coming up and you see that little wave of the head and they'll look forward down the road. I call that a Stevie Wonder, okay? That is what we call a far alert. It's a little bit of an air scent. There's no direction to it, but he got an air scent, okay? And that starts to change right here where he's trying to isolate the exact direction. The reason why he can't is because he's in the scent pool of our subject. There's no direction, no wind for it. He doesn't get that until he gets closer out here into the woods. What he's doing at this point is he's working the fringe of the scent pool. In order for the dog to find the way in, they have to work the edge of the scent pool to either, number one, find the scent cone coming from source, or two, the track going in should that air scent go away. And in this situation, it doesn't go away. We've got that blown odor, the edge of the pool, all the way out to here. This is the end of it, and he has no other choice but to try to work it and find the scent cone. And you're going to see him get that here shortly, right here. See how that behavior starts to change? He's starting to isolate the odor, probably because you got a little bit of a wind shift, more than likely. He's all heads up, no more tracking at this point. This is all air scent. And this emphasizes my point. You have to have bodies at the ends of your track in order to properly train your dog, because that's reality. The air scent is a big part of the track, and if they're not allowed to train for that on a regular basis, they're never going to be really good at it, and they get good through repetition. Okay, so on the next track, what I want you to do is something very, very similar, but let's use hard surface, a road, an actual cement road, and let's see if we can make the width of the road just a little bit more, maybe 10 to 20%, I think would be perfect. The other thing I want you to do is really pay attention to those points where your dog's trying to isolate either a direction of travel, a crossing point, or something like that. Try not to get into his business. Stay back. Let him detail. Remember that when you get in his business like that, they feel pressure and they feel like they have to move. And they may not have solved the problem yet. And this is where I was talking about in particular in the fence and in the fence crossings that you had. But other than that, amazing work. He's really good.
Overshot a little bit up around the top there.
Yeah, okay.
So, good boy, buddy. Good boy, mate.